We fight. Day after day, we fight. We plan, we strategize, and we push ourselves to the breaking point. Life becomes a battle, one struggle after another. And when we're tired, when we feel like we can't take another hit, we glance toward the corner. We expect to see God there, don't we? In our corner, ready to jump in when we need Him most. We think of Him as our coach, our support, someone to give us a boost when we're about to fall. But what happens when He's not there? What happens when you look toward the corner and it's empty? Where is God? Why isn't He stepping in? Why does it feel like you're fighting this battle alone? Maybe it's because we've misunderstood something. Maybe we've put God in the wrong place. We've placed Him in the corner of our lives, like a coach, like a cheerleader. We've imagined Him standing by, watching, waiting to step in when we've exhausted all other options. But what if that's not where He's supposed to be? What if the reason you feel alone in this fight is because you've put God in the wrong place? What if the very idea of God being in your corner is what's holding you back? But where is He supposed to be? If not in the corner, where is God supposed to stand in the battles of your life? Think about it. How many times have you fought through life's hardest moments praying, "God, help me, give me the strength to keep going"? But despite all your prayers, it still feels like you're fighting alone. Like no matter how hard you try, you're losing. You wonder, why isn't God stepping in? Where is He? Is it possible that you've been looking for God in the wrong place? Is it possible that you've misunderstood His role in your life? You've placed Him in your corner, but what if He's not meant to be there? What if the very idea of God being in your corner is what's keeping you stuck? What if it's what's causing you to feel so alone? Where is God supposed to be then? What are you missing? Why is the corner empty when you need God the most? We've been taught to believe that God is there to support us, that He's cheering us on, ready to give us strength when we ask. But here's the truth. The role of a coach, a cheerleader, a supporter, that's not enough. God is not meant to watch from the sidelines. The corner is too far away. When you put God in your corner, you've placed Him on the sidelines of your life. You've asked Him to stay at a distance, to watch you struggle. You're still fighting the battle by yourself. You've put all the weight on your own shoulders, asking for His help only when you're desperate, hoping He'll give you enough strength to keep going. But what if God's role is not to coach you from the corner? What if He's not just meant to cheer you on from a distance? What if you've been missing something critical all along? God was never meant to be in your corner. He's not meant to stand by and watch you fight alone. He's meant to be in the battle. He's meant to lead the fight, and you are meant to follow. Imagine what it would feel like to stop fighting alone. Imagine letting go of the struggle, the fear, the constant need to prove yourself. What if you stepped back and let God step in? You've placed Him too far away. You've kept Him at a distance. But His rightful place is right here, in the center of the fight. And when you finally let Him step into the battle, everything changes. God doesn't lose. He never has, and He never will. So, why are you still fighting alone? The moment you realize that God is meant to lead your battles, not cheer you on from the sidelines, everything shifts. It's in that moment of surrender, when you let go of the need to control, that He steps in and fights for you. Surrender is not weakness. It's power. It's the power to place the battle in the hands of the one who never loses. To let God take the lead, to trust Him with every struggle, every challenge. Because when God steps into the battle, victory is certain. Control. It feels like power, doesn't it? We hold on so tightly to our lives, convinced that if we just try hard enough, we can make everything work. But here's the truth about control. The longer you hold it, the heavier it becomes. You wake up every day thinking, if I don't make it happen, no one will. You plan, you organize, you push yourself to the limit. But the weight never eases, does it? The burden only grows. You're fighting to keep everything together, but deep down, you know you're losing. You wake up every day thinking, if I don't make it happen, no one will. You plan, you organize, you push yourself to the limit. But the weight never eases, does it? The burden only grows. You're fighting to keep everything together, but deep down, you know you're losing. The battle is fierce, and still, You look to God, expecting Him to be in your corner, ready to jump in when you ask. You whisper a prayer, "God, help me. Give me the strength to keep going." But even as you pray, you're still trying to control everything. And the longer you hold on, the heavier it gets. You wonder why you feel so alone, so overwhelmed, so empty. It's because you're carrying a burden that was never meant to be yours. You've placed all the pressure on yourself, and you've put God in the wrong place. You've asked Him to help you carry the weight, but what if His role is not to help you, but to take it from you entirely? You're still in control, and as long as you're in control, you're fighting this battle alone. There comes a moment in every battle when control finally breaks. When you realize that no matter how hard you try, you can't hold everything together anymore. This is the breaking point. You've reached your limit. The weight is too much, the burden too heavy. You've fought as hard as you can, but now you're breaking. And still, you look toward the corner. Still, you wait for God to step in and give you that extra push. You whisper again, "God, where are you? Why aren't you helping me?" But the corner is still empty. It's because He was never meant to be in the corner. And as long as you expect Him to stand on the sidelines, you'll continue to fight alone. This is the moment when you realize that something has to change. The moment when you understand that you can't keep fighting this battle by yourself. But what is wrong with the idea of God being in your corner? Why is it that your prayers seem unanswered? Why do you still feel so alone, even as you call on His name? You've put God in your corner. You've treated Him like a coach, someone to give you advice, someone to cheer you on when you're about to give up. But here's the truth. God is not a coach. He's not a cheerleader. He's not here to watch you struggle through life and offer encouragement from the sidelines. God's place was never in your corner, because a corner is too far away. When you place God in the corner, you keep Him at a distance. You ask Him to be near, but not in the fight. You're still relying on your own strength, your own plans, your own control. You're still holding the weight yourself. But that's not what God wants. He doesn't want to watch you fight alone. He's not waiting for you to ask Him for a boost. He's waiting for you to surrender. He's waiting for you to invite Him into the heart of the battle, to give up control and let Him take the lead. God is not in your corner because He's meant to be right beside you, leading the fight. This is the moment of transformation, the moment when you stop fighting alone, the moment when you stop looking for God in the corner and instead invite Him into the heart of the battle. When you surrender control, you're not giving up, you're giving over. You're placing the battle in the hands of the one who never loses. You're stepping back and letting God fight for you. With God in the battle, the outcome is already decided. Victory is certain, because God doesn't lose. He never has, and He never will. And when He fights for you, neither do you. Trusting God doesn't mean that life's challenges disappear. It doesn't mean that everything will be easy. But it does mean that you don't have to carry the weight alone, because now God is not in your corner. He's not watching from a distance. He's right here in the middle of your life, leading, guiding, fighting for you. And that changes everything. The battles you once fought alone, the burdens you tried to carry by yourself, they're no longer yours to bear. You've placed them in the hands of the one who is undefeated. Life will still present its challenges. You'll still face moments of uncertainty, fear, and doubt. But the difference is, you're no longer fighting from a place of weakness. You're standing in the strength of God. Trusting God means allowing Him to take the lead, knowing that He's already won the victory. It's the realization that no matter what happens, God is in control. You're no longer carrying the burden because He's already carrying it for you. Isaiah 41:10 tells us, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." When you trust God with your life, you're no longer walking alone. His hand is guiding you, His strength is upholding you, and His peace is guarding your heart. Surrender. It's a word that often makes us uncomfortable. We've been taught that surrender means weakness, that it means giving up control. But in God's kingdom, surrender is the key to true strength. Surrender doesn't mean giving up on life. It doesn't mean resigning yourself to fate or passively waiting for things to happen. No, surrender is an active choice. It's the decision to let go of your need to control everything and to place your trust in God's perfect plan. When you surrender, you're not losing power. You're gaining God's power. You're stepping back and allowing Him to lead, to fight your battles, and to guide you through the challenges of life. Jesus said in Matthew 11:28, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." This is the promise of surrender. When you come to God, when you give Him your burdens, He doesn't just help you carry them. He takes them from you. And in return, He gives you His rest. He gives you peace beyond understanding. He gives you strength that is not your own. He gives you victory. When you let God fight for you, everything changes. The battles you once faced with fear and uncertainty are now fought with confidence because you know the outcome. You know that God is leading the way and that He never loses. When God is in the fight, you no longer have to rely on your own strength or wisdom. You don't have to be afraid of what might happen because you're no longer fighting alone. You're trusting in the One who has already overcome every obstacle. Psalm 46:1 says, "God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble." This is the promise you walk in when you let God fight your battles. He is your refuge, your strength, your ever-present help. You are never alone, never outmatched, never without hope. When God fights for you, you are already victorious. You don't need to worry about the outcome because the outcome has already been decided. The battle belongs to the Lord. And when you let Him lead the way, you walk in peace, in strength, and in the assurance that you are never fighting alone. So, where does this leave you today? Are you still trying to control the outcome of every situation? Are you still carrying the weight of your battles on your own, hoping that God will step in when you're at your breaking point? Today, you have the opportunity to do something different. To stop placing God in your corner and instead invite Him into every aspect of your life. To invite Him into the battles you face, into the decisions you make, into the plans you create. God isn't just waiting for you to call on Him when you've reached your limit. He's ready and willing to lead you from the very beginning. He wants to walk with you through every moment, every challenge, every joy. But you have to let Him in. You have to give Him control. Proverbs 16:9 tells us, "In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." When you invite God into every aspect of your life, He establishes your steps. He leads you down the path He has prepared for you, one that is filled with His purpose, His peace, and His provision. Today, I want you to remember this. God is not in your corner. He's not watching from the sidelines, waiting for you to ask for help. He's right here, in the battle with you, leading, guiding, fighting for you. When you invite God into the fight, you are never alone. You are never without hope. You are never fighting for victory, because you're fighting from victory. The battle belongs to the Lord, and He never loses. So, stop placing God in the corner. Invite Him into the battle and watch as He leads you to victory. Because when God fights for you, you are already victorious. God never loses. And when He fights for you, neither do you. Release control. Invite Him into your life. Let Him fight your battles. And rest in the assurance that with God on your side, victory is already yours. Thank you for being part of this journey today. If this message has resonated with you, we encourage you to take a moment to reflect, to pray, and to invite God into your battle. You don't have to fight alone. Share this video with someone who may need it, and don't forget to subscribe for more content that inspires and strengthens your faith.